just make sure that everything is going well. Looks like we're still working on connecting over to a couple platforms here. Okay, there we go. Now it's connected to YouTube. Sweet. Okay, let me see. Restream.io. Don't look at my password, guys. dot. Let's go through. Let's rename this. Update titles. We're going to say title to ZBL After Party. Hola Israel. A melting Cupid. A melting Cupid chocolate monster. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Bien, pues. ¿Y tú, Ra? ¿Cómo te ha ido? Cupid chocolate monster. Comes to punish glutton. How do you spell? Not gluten. How do you spell glutton? It's O-N. It's O-N. And the selfish on Valentine's Day. Beware of sweet tooth. Okay, update all. Cool. Now that should be good. That should be showing up on all platforms. I just kind of want to check it and see what's going on. See if this is working. It's interesting sometimes to see the live streams that are on here. I don't often get ZBrush live streams, which is it's kind of nice when I actually do get it. Let's check this out. Cool. So we got the stream going through. Looks good. Oh, good. And it's got the messaging going over to the other side. Hey, Karis, how you doing? Cool. So yeah, live now. I need to go ahead and update my schedule too after I'm done with this. And then I've got my Instagram feed over here. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to go through and kind of play with this too. All right, let's see. Let's duck out of that. I don't need that. But we do want to have the Discord. Just in case somebody from... Hey, Mike, how you doing, brother? Just in case somebody from the Patreon group wants to jump on. Yeah, this is really cool. Oh, sorry. That was probably, like, super loud. My ring just brushed up against the microphone. In fact, let's put this down a little bit more so it's a little bit more out of the way. There we go. yeah, he did this awesome sculpt kind of coming in. It was just neat. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna join the No Spare Time live chat. So if you're part of the Patreon group, that's something that you can jump into and we can chat live. And Sean's joined the group, so you know he's part of this. But yeah, if you're part of this the Patreon group, jump in and say hello and be fun to chat. I wasn't expecting you to start so quickly. Yeah, I wasn't either, but I didn't want to like take too little time or even too much time, you know, in case somebody was like, "He said in a few minutes," so figured I'd go ahead and just come straight here. And this way I can actually come in and, yeah, you can absolutely ask your question. This way I can, you know, come in and really focus on getting my stuff to come together. Yeah, let's turn on Z sub. I'm gonna crank this up like quite a bit. Okay, let's go ahead and I was like, why is that so strong? It's because I'm using Smooth Stronger. That makes sense, right? It makes sense. Okay, let's just come over here. Let's just fill objects so we get rid of that that paint. I am going to say I'm not trying to be too clean with this, but I do want it to feel like it's like I'm trying to vary up the depth in some places. I was thinking of canceling Maya. It's extremely expensive and I only use it for the quad draw tool. Is it possible to get the same functionality as the quad draw tool in ZBrush using ZModeler? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a question you could have asked in the other one. Let's use some clay buildup. Let's see if we can get some cool surface look over here. Maybe make it feel like it's got some push around these edges here in some of these places, since it's displacing the clay, or the chocolate in this case. But yeah, you can get the you can get that same effect with ZModeler and the tools that are inside of ZBrush. The tricky thing is that, like I was kind of mentioning in the what's it called, in the stream, one of the hard things about it is that it'll often go through and it'll weld points together that you don't want it to weld together. So that's one of those things where it's like, you know, ZBrush Maya becomes very helpful. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably learn some Blender and be able to take advantage of some of their retopology tools. if you wanted to get rid of your Maya and still have some sort of extra 3D software package available. And then the thing that I hear a lot of people go through and suggest is like when you're trying to get into Blender is to go through the donut tutorials. Everybody calls it the donut tutorials. There we go. It feels like it was kind of drawn in with a finger. Let's see. I'm going to have to re-sculpt some of this though. Some of the, you know, for instance, I really want that to kind of stick out a little bit. So, ooh, that's a little bit too much. Let's come in around here. Oh, let's turn it back to Z-add. Yeah, so that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, Maya is extremely expensive, and at least, you know, I mean, here in the States, I don't know if you can do it in UK either as well, but in the States we have like you can go through and kind of write off software on your taxes. I don't know how taxes works in the UK at all, but I mean, that's the only reason why. And like for myself, like I don't have to worry about purchasing Maya at the moment because I don't need it professionally as much. So it's like when I have needed it recently, I've just kind of rented it, which has been helpful. So yeah, I just rented it for like the period of time that I need, you know, just a few days, and then I'll factor that into my my client fees. That's something that I do quite a lot. You know, I especially for software like that, like Maya, like I don't pay for Maya. Since I'm an educator, I get free educator's license. But I can't use that for commercial work. So if I'm going to do commercial work, if somebody's commissioning me for something freelance or whatever, then, you know, that's on them, you know. And, you know, if I were working on their machines on site, they would need to supply me with a machine anyway. So, you know, that's kind of the idea behind that. It's called a box fee. So yeah, super important. Don't be afraid to charge your clients. And you don't hide that. You know, you don't have to be ashamed of it and worry that that's going to put everything over. But you can say up front, you know, hey, so to do this job, I'm going to need to rent software and you know, so, you know, in order to do that, this is going to be something that I need to add on to the invoice, just so that there are no hidden fees and people don't get like bothered by it. Okay. A little bit more of an angle there, just to kind of break up that shape some. It's a little bit too even, so I'm just trying to add in some variation, help it to feel a little bit more organic. Yeah, let me see. Let's get that snake hook back on there. Let me see. Yeah, that makes sense. That made sense, Mike. And really kind of like the guidelines for us as streamers on the Pixelogic channel is to be ZBrush centric as much as possible. I mean, the only time that I'll really break out of ZBrush in a ZBrush stream, in a Pixelogic stream, is when I'm going over into Photoshop to do composites or something like that. So it's a good call, being safe rather than sorry. So I appreciate the sensitivity there. But yeah, that is one of those questions where I think it's worth kind of talking about, because it is something that highlights a strength from ZBrush as a software. Looks like we got a bunch of people jumping on. Would it be possible for you to point me in the direction of how to use it? Yeah, so I mean, I've got a lot of yeah, I've got my stuff in my ArtStation store and Gumroad and stuff like that, obviously. But I've also got a bunch of stuff on stream. Like for instance, the other day, I was using it quite a bit on my character, which I'm pretty sure, did I use it on stream? I think I might have actually, like the character himself, I think I might not have done on stream. That was bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. Whoa, what was that? That's not what I want. That's kind of interesting though. I have no idea how I had gotten into that, but let's pull it back out and we'll go back into sculpting this. I take my sculpting seriously. Yeah, there's some brushes that I try to get rid of. That's one I'll probably get rid of. It's just not one that I find helpful. And I don't think I'll go through and, oh, you know what? The goldfish stream from a couple weeks back. I did use ZModeler to be able to create that topology. So you'll find a lot of like tips and tricks on how to do that in that stream. Here, let me see if I can go ahead and find that for you. Let's see, leave that open, pull this over here. You're a sensitive person. Awesome content, thank you. I'm 2D Illustrator trying to jump into ZBrush. I've made some models, but I can't find motivation. You're a big motivation for me doing these videos, though. Thank you very much. I'm glad I could do that for you. Yeah, I get Maya for free as an educator, but it's an educational license, so it's the same license that a student would get. You know, it works. It does what I need to do. It's just that I'm not allowed to use it for commercial purposes. So I go through and I rent a license when I need to do something. Look at that. We got off just in time for Pixelogic to jump back on. Let me see. Oh, Natasha's Kitchen has red velvet cake today. Awesome. Yeah, since it was Pixelogic, let's come over here. Let's go to playlists because it should be in here. Oh, I guess this is upcoming stream. It says, a ver. interesting. There we go. Here's my actual playlist. So it looks like it was kind of split into two. You can find, like, here's part one. Here is part one. And then partie 2 sur 2. Let's copy that. There's part 2. All right. Hey Fabio, how are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's really funny. Yeah, the eyes are. I've been really kind of trying to push proportions of different parts of the face lately, um, and the eyes are definitely like something that I've tried to really push lately. Let me see. Let's go ahead and grab that snake hook. We'll kind of pull this out. Hi, hope you're okay. Your Cupid design is really cool. Love the shapes. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's kind of fun so far. I'm hoping that he reads well when I as I continue to pull him together. Let's give him like some melty chocolate over here. And kind of puff that out some so that it's a little bit more. Okay. In fact, with this, I mean, I could probably just go through and just add, like, why is that being like that? That's weird. It must have just been because of the surface. Nope, it's actually doing that. That's really odd. Okay, let's come over here. Snake hook. Let's kind of pull out a little bit here. This is a technique I wish I had figured out like a long time ago, because I really like the effect that it gives me. It's super simple. It gets me so much closer than going through and doing like alphas and things like that. One of the other things I need to do is I need to take, like, I need to go ahead and like sculpt what's it called? I need to sculpt a like a little bit of chocolate like on the ground just beneath it. Let's do something like this. Puff that out some. Cool. How do you do when you have a character with humongous eyes and a big mouth, and the eyes kind of go into the mouth? Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because speaking of Toothless, yeah, I mean, Toothless is kind of that way, where he's like, his mouth is yeah, his mouth and his eyes intersect. So I don't know how exactly that worked in the animation. I don't know if it is like a deformer that they had to go through and kind of like in the rig and pull the eyes up, because yeah, the eyeballs when they're full spheres, they kind of like go through the roof of the mouth because of how flat the head is. So I think it was with the rigging that it, you know, that there had to be like a lattice to kind of, or some sort of deformer to kind of pull that up. Don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure, but yeah, I mean, I've seen the actual model, and that's accurate. I mean, that's how it was done in the movie. Is that there was, you know, there was a little bit of penetration with the eyeballs and stuff, and that's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, this is kind of funny. But it worked really well, and it's really super appealing, so, you know, whatever. Get something like that going on. Let's go through over here. That's kind of cut in underneath this one. I always had that doubt. Yeah, I get how that goes. I get how that goes. Like, for instance, with these characters, the eyes are not. I don't know if were with me when I created this on the Pixelogic stream, but one of the things that I had done. The eyeballs are not perfectly spheres here. I mean, they started off as spheres, but now they're more egg-shaped. Velociraptor egg shape. Do you know how Toothless's name is in Spanish? I don't know what Toothless's name is in Spanish. Do you? Speaking of Toothless, I do want this guy to have a tooth, so I need to do that. And since I do also want this guy to have chimuelo, interesting. Let's make these ears kind of symmetrical too. That's really interesting, actually. I'm going to have to try to remember that. Chimuelo. You know, that's a little bit too high. Do something like this. Get some right angles in there. Okay, so now we've got this shape in there. So now we can take, oh, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and kind of erase away some of that. I'm going to make this kind of nice and round right there. Okay. Yeah, let's not do it like that. Let's do it like soften it once, soften it twice. Now we can pull it in, and that looks pretty decent. That'll work. Let's kind of smooth it out a little bit down here toward the end, just to kind of soften that effect. And we'll kind of build it out just a little bit in some of these areas to make it so that it's not as perfect of a shape. Okay. So cool. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do this. Let's get some more chocolate. It's a Mexican word for toothless. That's funny. Okay, I'm writing this down so that I can remember. Chimuelo. There we go. Chimuelo equals toothless. What's that emoji there, Mike? Hey, Quicks. Yeah, so this is what I started on the ZBrush live stream today. I was just like, I like it, I want to finish it, so I was like, might as well go through and take advantage of the theme and do something cool. And since I'm completely like out of the need for symmetry, I'm just going to go ahead and take this guy's head out of symmetry. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to turn off line because I don't need line, but I do need the polygroups. Turn off symmetry, center. Let's bring this down here. Okay. I'm trying to decide if this will work for me or not. Let's see. Oops, didn't want to shrink. There we go. The wings are kind of tricky. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do for this, but cool little chimuelo there. I don't know what the emoji is. I get sub to channels and given emojis all the time. It's crazy. I need to make some emojis for my channel. I don't think I've made any for my channel specifically. Not on Twitch anyway. I have some that I've made for Discord that maybe I'll go ahead and I'll add over. Yeah. Oh, kind of interesting. It's a fun thing. I mean, I really enjoy the personalized emoji world. It's kind of pull that in. Okay. Get some more snake hook, kind of pull this in down here onto the leg a little bit. So one of the things I need to try to consider is maybe the pose a little bit. But I don't necessarily need to consider the pose as much as I need to consider the fact that you know, whatever position he's in the most is probably the direction that the goop is going to be kind of sliding. So since we'll kind of add a little bit of gravity to some of these. And we want to make sure that it doesn't feel odd when we do it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it's a delicate art. Has anybody watched the new WandaVision for today? I haven't yet, by the way, so don't give any spoilers. I'm really intrigued by the mystery of it all. I feel like I'm kind of learning along with everybody else. I feel like yeah, all my theories so far have been kind of on, but mostly off. Oh, I see. You're gonna go there. Have you even seen it yet, Mike? Doing well, CBR. Welcome. How you doing? Emoji of your brother. That's funny. You haven't seen it yet, and you're threatening to ruin it for me. Ah, come on, come on. I want to kind of give some sort of light swirl here on top or something. I don't know. I'm trying to feel this out just a little bit. Trying to give it kind of a layered sort of look, so it's not just, you know, perfectly smooth anymore. See if it works. And this should hopefully help it to feel a little bit more Oh, merci beaucoup. Mm. Been in lockdown for a year. Can't see my girlfriend. You haven't been able to see your girlfriend in a year? Quicks. That's amazing. Okay, now I want to crack open the head. Okay, so we're going to totally do this. It's going to have a cracked open head, and it's going to have Cadbury egg goop spilling out. Oh my goodness. Bon appetit in French. Bon appetit. Breakfast. The ham sandwich. She takes good care of me. The perks of not having one. I'm almost kind of lost. Let me see. It's 2024 in France. Oh, so it's like 120 heures and 24 minutes. Is that what you're saying? That's late. Well, it's not late. I mean, it's 8 o'clock, but it's... That makes more sense. Oh man, it's funny. Anybody who was on the Pixelogic stream who didn't come over here to this one, they're gonna be like in for the surprise of their life when they see this final sculpt. I'm gonna make it as if he had like a bite taken out of him or something. Oh, dude, that was hilarious. So like some of the best ideas come from like third-party people, you know. So like Cupid, yeah, I mean that's kind of the obvious choice for a Valentine's themed sculpt. But then one of my friends, Jose Lara, he suggested a chocolate monster, and so I'm just thinking like chocolate monster. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I could do with that. And then I was like, chocolate monster, Cupid. Put it together. And then I got like this melty Cupid chocolate arrow guy here. And now you're just adding to the mix, and it's epic. It's so good. Makes me really want a Cadbury egg. Let's go ahead and kind of pull that down a little bit. So yeah, so far so good. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. How are you finding the cloth simulation? Could you use it for the dribbly goop inside of the head? Yeah, that's actually an idea I was playing with just now in my head. That's really funny. Yeah, that's something that I was thinking about. I think it's a good idea. It's really, really funny. That's a good idea, guys. Man, you guys are smart. See, I really like streaming live because then people go through and they'll like bounce ideas into your head. Yeah, actually, I don't use class simulation a ton. But I do like it. I mean, the stuff that I use it for, it can be really, really helpful. Like, for instance, I have that environment scene that I was working on, that I've been working on. That was, like, I used class simulation for a couple of things there. Mostly being able to, like, hang curtains and things like that. Let's get this. Let's get a chocolate drop coming off of here. Need to make some trousers and a cape. I understand trousers. Sorry, pants. Well, for you, pants are something different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots and lots of happy accidents. I definitely miss being able to work with people. You know, it's there's some merits, some nice things about being home too. But there's definitely a lot, like a very different, I don't know, it's a lot harder to feel productive when you know, when you're in your own bedroom trying to work on something. Especially since, you know, working from home, you know, there are other people who may or may not need your help. And so, you know, you get pulled away, or you get distracted by what's, you know, typically in your in your surroundings and whatever. And yeah, I don't know, lots of things. Se ve rico. Sí, es un sándwich. Un sándwich de jamón con tomate, con espinaca, con mayo. No sé si tiene mostaza o no, pero sí tiene como un pan de granos. Y sí, salió bien rico, sí. Pero se me acaba.